Zach here with Casual Conversation with Zachery Scicluna myself. Hope you're doing well. I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about the lending side of things. So coming from a real estate perspective, being a real estate consultant, licensed realtor, I really will focus on the process of how things are going to progress, putting together offers, negotiating things out, making sure it's a smooth transition from what you're trying to achieve goal-wise. And a lender, or they go by a lot of names, just like we talked in one of the other videos about what a realtor is and some of the names they go by. A lender is also that same boat here. They go by a lot of different names. There's loan officers, there's lenders, there's mortgagers, there's banks, there's brick and mortar, Wells Fargo, or I guess I shouldn't name. Well, there's brick and mortar banks, and then there's a lot of other broker banks. And so a lot of the different dynamics here that we're looking at is there's some lenders that can only work with one company because of how they're structured and licensed. Those are sometimes nice because sometimes they're a little bit smaller and they can sometimes give you a little bit more custom tailored experience and really bend over backwards to make something happen if you're a long-term client of theirs. And sometimes they offer the cheapest rates because they are a unique bank scenario. Then there's other things, like credit unions. They tend to have a little bit lower interest rates if you're a client of theirs already. And then you'll have traditional, larger banks where maybe if you have a long-term built relationship, you have someone that's there to, make sure you do get the best rate, or it's somebody you trust with your file, or maybe you have a complex file and they know the workings of your file in and out, and that works out good. Then there's these other parties where you're able to talk to them and they they work with a company that has one or two ties or three ties with certain lenders. And then there's brokers in the lending world. And the brokers, they have access to a whole slur of folks. And so the benefit to it is they're able to really make sure you're getting the best fit program. So like myself as a consultant, they're able to talk to you about the process and what some of your options are. And traditionally speaking, what ends up happening is you end up getting your file together, and then in reality, you might just fit well with one or two lenders out of a whole slur of them. And then you kind of just have to stick to those two. And that broker, a loan broker, a mortgage broker will be able to help you figure that out. The lenders, what they're really focused there, we're just going to call them lenders for the sake of discussion, whether they're any of those types of folks. But the lender is going to be someone you're going to send W-2s, 1099s, any kind of source of income, tax documents, and your information, personal information to them. And with that file, they're going to put together, and get you qualified to purchase a home, and make sure that your goal of whether it's investing, a flip or a rental, or your personal primary home, they're going to make sure that those numbers line up and they work for what you're trying to achieve. Because no one wants to get into something and find out it's not going to work and just have the wind taken right out your sail as you found the perfect home, and then you find out, oh hey, I found the perfect home, let's put an offer in. You put an offer in, and then you go talk to a lender that next week and they say, oh, no, sorry, you got to wait 12 months so you can do anything. That just hurts no matter which end of the deal, end of it you're on, being the lender telling the news or being on the recipient side receiving that news. So that's why I do always recommend talk to me. I'll get you in contact with 2 or 3 folks. You can figure out which is the best match for you. And then from there, you're able to talk and figure out, hey, do I want to go this direction with that person or this direction with that person? You do have a little bit of time to decide. So if you just get the wheels going with one person, that's perfect. And again, they'll tell you, hey, you can afford up to this amount, and this is what your payments are. One of the little insider things I love telling people to talk to about is cash to close. That's the biggest thing, because cash to close means how much do I got to pay out of pocket to get the keys to that house. And folks kind of get sucked into, hey, I saw this calculator online, won't name a website, but just any website. My mortgage payment's only going to be $1,200 a month. And then you're like, whoa, that seems pretty insane, because it's considering how much the house was you're talking about. And then you figure out that they didn't quite account for taxes and insurance and property mortgage insurance. And then they didn't take into account that the auto calculator that showed them that really affordable rate had like a 50% down payment on a house when they were only planning on like a 5% down payment. And so you can start to see costs get up a lot higher really quick. And talking to a lender right out the gate really helps keep that heartache to a minimum for you. Through the process, the lender, they're going to be there for us through the process, because once they tell us, hey, you're good to go at a certain price point, we can start doing the offer component and negotiating things out. And as we find the perfect place, they're going to pick up a lot of the legwork on the back end, and we won't see a lot of the stuff they're doing from a buyer or the realtor side of it, because they're talking with underwriters, they're talking with appraisers, they're talking with the bank itself to get financed, and working with the title company, everybody around there, to make sure your file is going to go full circle, start to finish. Because we want you to achieve the goal. If you truly fall in love with the house and you want it, we want to make sure that that goes full cycle. So a good lender will be able to get over a lot of the hurdles that can sometimes happen, whether it's appraisal issues or underwriter delays, or contingencies within the loan approval process where you got to send them certain documentation to get approved. A good lender will be worth its weight in gold in the sense of heartache and being able to make it as easy of a process as possible. Again, I know a bunch of wonderful lenders. If you need any recommendations, I'm happy to make those recommendations to you and give you some options. Through the process, again, the lender's going to be telling us which stages they're at, and there's really only like 3 or 4 stages of it, of which you get pre-approved, and then we order the appraisal, we get pre-underwritten, and then we're getting final docs to close. There's a lot of stuff in between, and as I'm your consultant in the process, I will give you each of the little baby steps as we're going there, but those are the main things, those are the big hurdles that you got to get to, and then it'll progress through. And then after the process is done, the lender kind of tapers off and they kind of continue along. They'll follow up with you, make sure that everything went well, and if you had anybody they can also help benefit with their great services, and beyond that, they kind of move right along. I stick around. Like I tell folks, as we become family at that point, because I'm always around if you have any questions with the house or any other recommendations for contractors, anything along those works. I'm happy to help screen and give extra input, and so that is what a lender does. A lender is there to help you navigate the financial dynamic of the purchase process and do all the back-end legwork for us. And again, they're worth their weight in gold, because if we hit hurdles, their experience in the industry will really have just the best outcome, and being able to sift through all those potential issues. And again, if you do they do a lot of the front groundwork, you tend not to have as many issues. You tend not to have any issues at all, because when they take you from the very beginning to getting you pre-approved for that letter so we can put offers in, they're very thorough. They really have all that taken care of, to where the rest of it is just speed of the highway. They're basically waiting on us to make sure the house is truly the home you want. So that's our casual conversation. I thank you for tuning in. Zachery Scicluna here, and please like, subscribe, comment down below if you have any questions or thoughts. As well, if you or yourself are looking for any information on your home or a neighbor's home, or anybody's got any questions about values, or just want some real estate information, please let me know. I'd be honored to get some information going your way. And if you'd like to subscribe to our magazine, I'd be happy to send you one of those as well. So please stay in contact, stay well, and have a great one. Thank you.